You have a photo of yourself as a baby. Someone is holding you. You are smiling. You have absolutely no memory of that moment ever happening. Not fuzzy memory, not distant memory, zero memory. But the real answer for why is far stranger than you were too young to remember. Think about your first 2 years of life. Your brain was learning language from nothing. It was mapping every face, every sound, every texture of the world for the first time. That is one of the most intense learning periods you will ever go through. And yet none of it survived. Why would the most important learning window of your life leave behind the least evidence? Scientists call this infantile amnesia. It is not a flaw. It happens to almost everyone. Most adults cannot recall anything before the age of 3 or 4. A second, gentler fog covers ages 3 through 7, where memories exist but arrive thin and incomplete. Somewhere around age 7, your memory finally starts behaving the way it does now. Before that, it was running on different rules entirely. For a long time, the explanation came from Sigmund Freud. He believed you were repressing those years. He thought your earliest memories were tangled up with urges too uncomfortable to keep around, so your mind buried them on purpose. It is a dramatic story. It is also wrong. No experiment has ever backed it up. So, if it isn't repression, what is it? Here is where the story gets stranger. Researchers Josselyn and Frankland, working at the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto, noticed something odd. Infantile amnesia doesn't just happen to human toddlers. It happens to baby mice. It happens to baby rats. It happens across species that don't have language at all. That single fact broke the leading theory of the time. If forgetting your first years required language, why would a mouse forget too? Josselyn and Frankland went looking inside the brain instead of inside the mind. They focused on the hippocampus, the region responsible for stitching moments into lasting memories. In early life, this region is doing something unusual. It is producing new neurons at a rapid pace. Scientists call this neurogenesis. Think of it as your brain constantly laying new wiring, right on top of wiring that already exists. Here's the part that changes everything. Josselyn and Frankland found that this flood of new neurons doesn't just add capacity, it disrupts what's already stored. As fresh cells wire themselves into the hippocampus, they appear to reorganize the very circuits holding your earliest memories, scrambling connections that hadn't been reinforced yet. The researchers tested this directly. When they slowed down neurogenesis in young mice, the animals kept their memories far longer than expected. When they sped up neurogenesis in adult mice, those animals started forgetting things they should have easily remembered. Same brain, same species, just a different rate of new cell growth. The forgetting followed the neurons, every time. So, is your first birthday gone forever? Maybe not exactly. In a follow-up study, the same research team trained infant mice to fear a specific space, then watched that fear seem to vanish with time, the way early memories do. But when they artificially reactivated the exact brain cells that had encoded the original memory, the fear came back. Months later, fully intact. That result suggests something quietly unsettling. Your earliest memories might not be destroyed at all. They might simply be locked behind a door your adult brain no longer knows how to open. There's another layer to this, and it has nothing to do with neurons. It has to do with where you grew up. Psychologist Yeung at Cornell University compared American and Chinese young adults and asked them to describe their earliest memory. The differences were striking. American participants tended to produce long, detailed, emotionally charged memories centered on themselves as the main character. Chinese participants tended to describe brief, general memories centered on group activities, often without much emotion attached at all. Same biology, same neurogenesis, different memories survived. Why would culture change what your brain chooses to keep? Wang's later research offers a clue. She studied how mothers talked to their toddlers about the past. American mothers tended to ask open, elaborating questions, drawing out a child's personal feelings and opinions about an event. Chinese mothers tended to ask more direct, factual questions, focused on behavior and shared expectations. Children absorb these conversational habits, and it appears those early habits shape which kinds of memories get reinforced enough to survive into adulthood, and which quietly dissolve. So, childhood amnesia isn't one clean story. It's biology building and rebuilding your hippocampus faster than any memory can settle into place. It's culture deciding, through thousands of small conversations, Which kinds of moments are worth holding on to? And somewhere underneath both of those forces, it might be a locked door instead of an empty room. Here's the part that should make you look at every young child differently. Right now, somewhere, a 2-year-old is having an experience that feels enormous to them. First snow, first real fear, first moment of pure joy at seeing a parent's face. That child will very likely never consciously remember it, but the neurons involved in it may still exist, tucked somewhere in a maturing hippocampal circuit, waiting on a signal that may never come. You did that too. You lived an entire era of your life that shaped how you attach to people, how you respond to fear, how safe you feel in the world today. And you cannot recall a single frame of it. Next time someone hands you a baby photo and says you don't remember any of this, don't just shrug. Somewhere in you, a version of that moment may still exist. Not gone, just waiting behind a door you don't have the key to anymore.